Hi everyone. Today we're actually going to be changing the rear driver side window because this car got broken into, and it is a 2011 Toyota Venza. Okay, let's get started. To start off with, we have two screw that we have to actually take it off, which is one right here and another one is actually underneath here. In order to get through that, we actually have to open up the panel with
what are you looking for?
Alright, I'm sorry, I was actually grabbing the tools. You could actually use this kind of pry tool, which is actually the metal, or you use the plastic pry tools that's like this. And what you want to do, you want to actually open up by opening the latch, and you actually pry it over here, which we already did early ago, and it will actually expose your bolt right here. And you can actually set this one aside. And the second one that you want to do is actually prying this one right here. And you don't want to actually yank this because there is a cable that you need to actually unbuckle, which is like that. And you will actually find your other bolt, which is actually right here. And to open it up, we have a screwdriver. You could actually use a screwdriver, or if you actually have impact or any kind of power tools, this will speed up the process, but you're still able to actually use the normal screwdriver. Okay, doing that, we're just gonna actually use the elbow grease and just like that. And you want to actually save it where it's actually are safe. Okay, once you actually open up those screw on the bottom right corner right here, you're able to actually just pull just like that. You will hear because there's a whole bunch of tabs right here that we just need to actually get it open. Once you actually open it up, you want to use both hands and lift the panel up. And you don't, once again, you don't want to actually yank it up because there is some cables that you still actually out in the back. And I'm gonna actually move my camera here for a moment. That way I can actually show you what it looks like. All right. So now I have a better angle. Once you actually open it up, as you can see, there is a couple cables that you want to unlatch, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna give my brother-in-law the panel. And there is two cables. One is actually white and one is green. you do want to actually make sure to remember which one is actually are which, because that's how the door panels actually are open. So to do that, what you want to do, you want to lift this up, and there's a ball joint right here, and just release. Same thing with the second one, lift up, ball joint, release. Okay, and you can set this one aside. Now, once you actually get that up and going, in order for us to actually get the window, we actually have to open up these seals right here. These seals actually are pretty sticky, so you may want to actually use a glove. So I'm going to actually pause myself. Alright, I'm back. Unfortunately, I'm not actually at my house, so I'm actually at my brother's house. Basically, I'm actually forgot to bring the glove. So, but any kind of glove will actually work. Just something that will not actually make your hands sticky. And this one, if it's not peeling off, you are able to actually use like a razor blades, which is something like this one, and you just actually peel it up. We just want to make sure we don't want to actually do it too fast or too hard, because we need to actually keep this later on. And just like that, slowly but surely.
Is that all day?
And I'm gonna pause while I'm actually doing it. So once you actually get it open, you want to make sure all the cables actually up from the opening right here, and you want to set this to the side. I can actually set it right here, where it's actually laying flat. All right. So your next thing that you need to do, you need to actually lower down your window so you can actually go into the opening. Before that, you want to actually taking out this grommet right here, so you can actually have the opening for you to do the window. Okay, and
You're on.
all right. So we need to actually get this put this one back in there for temporary, and we can actually start the car.
Watch out for glass. Safety first.
Okay, you don't have to turn it on all the way, just enough for the ACC that we can actually press this button. You have to. Pause.
Now.
Alright. So once you actually plug this cable, you have to actually plug this cable and plug the automatic window, and you can actually lower it down. You want to lower it down all the way until you hit this hole and exposing those 10mm sockets. Okay, once you've done that, you can actually unplug this one and turn off the car again. This one, correction, it is actually 10mm screw. and you want to actually be careful with it. All right, when you actually expose the bolt right here, and it's gonna be right here and right here. Okay, you use a 10 millimeter, and be careful because you still actually have a lot of glass in there. Okay, and you want to set it where it's safe. And if you're not able to see the bolt, this railing is actually able to move. So you want to line it up until you're able to actually find the bolt and untie it. There you go. Here goes the other side for it. Now I'm gonna actually have my assistant to actually do the vacuuming, because you want to make sure all the glasses actually are out. So we gotta vacuum it very thoroughly. All right, we'll be back. Once you clean up all the glasses, the broken glasses, you want to actually open it up your window railing, which is, there's 4 spots. One is actually inside here, one is this one, and there's 2 more screw right here. Okay, let's start opening up. And this, sometimes it could be kind of sticky, so just be patient. There you go. And you want to use 10 millimeter socket. You just want to be cautious, be careful.
Go again.
In case if the bolt actually are stuck there, if you have a magnet, that would actually help and making it easier for you. Okay, but we got it out. And the second one is this one right here. Okay. And we have a Phillips screw. To get it access to those 2 screws right here, you just want to peel your weather strip a little bit. And get those 2 screws out. Once you've done that, it will expose the guardrail, and this is actually gonna be one of the hardest part of installing. What you want to do, this triangle part, you just want to pull a little bit. Pause.
Go.
All right, guys. I did actually make mistakes. The two screws actually are inside here. So we don't need to actually unscrew this part. So I'm gonna actually screw it back in. Things with mechanics and automobile is trial and learn.
That's trial and error.
Trial and error. Okay, so once you actually open up this weather strip, it will actually open up this guardrail. And we will, one more thing that we need to do is actually open up this part right here. There we go. That will actually expose the guardrail. And we can actually set it to the side on this one. Okay. All right. And back to cleaning up. Yep, we want to make sure all the broken glasses actually are clear, because otherwise when you actually install the new one, it could be actually creating a rattling noise, or even it could actually scratch your new window, which we don't want. All right, we'll be back. All right, after you took out the guardrail, you will ask for your assistant to actually help you with the window, because you don't want to break it. Okay, so you gotta be gentle. One, you gotta go in there, and one person's gonna actually hold it on the top, and keep going. Okay, and you want to match up your screw right here, and then the other screw, which is right there. And we're gonna actually bolt it up first. Yeah, back it.
Pause.
Pause.
Go.
All right, guys. Just in case if you guys wondering what happened with the towel, we're using this just in case the bolt actually fell down inside of the door, like we had earlier ago. So we're kind of hoping that's actually will actually soften the blows and be able to actually catch it. Now we can actually try this again. Could you pause for a second?
Battery is over. You're up.
All right. Yeah. There are certain things that we find out. If you open up your speaker, will give us some more access, and you may want to actually open it up the speaker because there's still a lot of glasses on the other side over here, and it will make it easier for you to actually access the bolt in here as well. And once you do that, you want to actually line it and install the other bolt.
Hardest bolt first.
And when you're doing this, you want to make sure before you bolt it to actually make sure it's actually are in the channel, which we are. And now we will actually tighten it up. So it will be secure. And you don't want to over tighten this. Just the fact that one, we're working with a tempered glass. Two, when you over tighten it, it might actually strip the screw and it's not allowing the motor to actually running smoothly. Once you've done that, go and actually reinstall your speaker. And also it is a 10mm bolt. And normally we do actually use a power tool to making it faster, but you could always actually use a normal tools as well. So all your DIY-er, don't be afraid. If you don't have the power tools. Okay, up and secure. And we could cover this back.
What did we use that hole for, sir?
Oh, yes. By the way, we opened up this hole because we actually found more of glasses right on the bottoms right here. So we used that to actually for the channel for the vacuum, because your vacuum would not be able to actually fit in here because of the pipe that is actually are in here. So we used a screwdriver to be able to actually transferring all those broken glasses to here, and we can actually vacuum it from here. And same thing with the speakers. Okay, now we need to actually put the channel back on, which is right here. And you gotta be careful with it because you don't want to break the glass.
Pause.
All right. So in order for us to actually put the railing back in, it's a lot easier if you could actually put the bolt in here first before we could actually plug it in. And to plug it in, you just actually want to actually match it in there. And we're gonna use the other bolt. To secure it. Okay. And the 2 screws to secure it.
Pause. Oh.
All right, guys. Lesson learned. Proper tools will goes a long way. A magnet will be your best friend on this job. Okay. All right. Next thing you need to do is actually move this railing back in there. You want to get as low as possible. So we can actually place okay. All right. So once you actually drop down the railing, you want to actually place your put the key back on, so we can actually raise up the glass. Because we need. All right.
You're going.
All right. So we were struggling earlier to get to the railing. You just need to actually play around with it and try to actually put it inside in between the glass. That is actually the biggest struggle. And once we're able to do that, we actually rail up the window.
Pause.
Roll up the window. All right.
Go.
Correction. You want to have your rubber gasket is in between between. All right. So you want to have your window in between of the rubber gasket inside of your railing. That's what is actually taking us a long time, because we want it to actually be able to actually run out smoothly. So once you do that, you actually plug it back in, and you want to actually test your window, which we did already. So we're gonna actually put it back to on the screw. And we're gonna turn on the car one more time. And you want to roll down your window so we can actually put the two screw back inside in here. And as we learned earlier ago, it's best to actually use a magnet. And finish it off with the normal screwdriver. And put back the rubber gasket. And you want to make sure all the bolts are tight. Then you want to put the rubber garment back on. Okay. And we're gonna roll up the window. Okay. And we're gonna unplug it so we can actually put the seal back on. And you want to use all the channels like what we did earlier ago. Oh. Now you could actually put your things back. White one goes to here. You put the ball bearing inside first and then clip on. Same thing with the green one. Okay. And we're gonna put the panel back on. To do that, you want to put your door handle inside, and it goes from the top and you press down. From there, you just actually press down the clips. Make sure all of the clips actually are sealed. And we're gonna put on our screw back in here. Once again, magnets actually are your best friend. And then we could go with a normal screwdriver. Make sure it's all tight. Okay. And we're gonna install the window seal back on. And the door panel. Okay. That is all, guys. Well, guys, this is it. We just want to make sure that everything's actually are working. So I need to actually get the key back from the brother-in-law. Thank you. And we just want to make sure everything's actually are working. Make sure all the door locks is actually working. Window. All right, Everything works. Till next time.